Hello students, I am Mrs. Sane. Welcome to the simple way of learning English. Students, after learning an astrologer's day from prose section, let us move to the second section in your English textbook, that is poetry. Today, let us start the very first poem in this section, which is Song of the Open Road by Walt Whitman. First, we shall discuss about the title. The title of poem Song of the Open Road is symbolic. Here, the word song is the symbol of happiness and joy, and open road represents freedom, democracy, equality, and mobility. Open road suggests that everyone has the freedom to use the road. Rich people as well as poor people can walk on it. All can equally use the road. It is the place where people come together. The road is the symbol of mobility also, as one can take the road to start over towards something new. In this poem, the journey by road is the journey of life. In this journey, we must not stop at one place, but we must start over towards something new. This poem, Song of the Open Road, is written by the well-known poet Walt Whitman. He was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. He is known as the father of free verse. Free verse is a type of poetry that does not contain pattern of rhyme. No rhyming words are there. Lines do not rhyme with fixed forms. The poet Walt Whitman's major work, Leaves of Grass, is the collection of poems. The present poem is also taken from this collection. O Captain, My Captain is also a very popular poem written by him on the death of Abraham Lincoln. Now, let us turn to the poem Song of the Open Road. This poem is very optimistic and inspirational narrative poem. In this poem, the poet Walt Whitman tells us that road is something that everyone uses. It is the symbol of mobility, and one can take a road as a point to start over towards something new. Freedom, joy, equality, and mobility are the major themes of this poem. This poem is an expression of happiness. The poem gives an encouragement to continue the journey of life in spite of all the troubles in life. So, let us read the poem first. Song of the Open Road. Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me. The long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose. Henceforth, I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth, I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, peerless criticisms, strong and content I travel the open road. The earth that is sufficient, I do not want the constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them. Still, here I carry my old delicious burdens. I carry them, men and women. I carry them with me wherever I go. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. I am filled with them, and I will fill them in return. Okay, students, now we will study the poem in detail. Let us see the stanza-wise summary of the poem. Here are 4 stanzas in this poem. There are no rhyming words. Lines do not rhyme with a fixed form, and the length of the lines also vary. This is called free verse. This poem is written in the first person. That means the poet or the speaker here tells about himself. Now let us start the first stanza. Afoot and light-hearted I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. In the first line, afoot and light-hearted I take to the open road. Here, afoot means on foot and light-hearted means happy. The poet or the speaker begins his journey on foot. He sets out on the open road and he is light-hearted, means he is happy and joyful. Healthy, free, the world before me. The next line. Healthy, free, the world before me. He says that the whole world is before him to travel, and he is healthy. He is free to decide where to go. The next line. The long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. This means that the poet, the speaker, has the freedom to go anywhere. He is free to take any road for his journey. That means he himself controls his journey. He himself will choose his path. Now see the second stanza. Henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms, strong and content I travel the open road. In the first line of this stanza, henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Here, good fortune means good luck. The speaker says that he does not need to pray anybody for his good luck. Why? Because he is confident that he himself is the maker of his good luck. He himself is the maker of his own destiny. Next line. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. The speaker is fully satisfied, so he says that he will not whimper or cry for anything. He will not postpone his journey, and he does not want any kind of help from anyone because he does not need anything. Third line. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms. Here, indoor complaints means maybe the complaints of his relatives, friends, or the persons he knows. And libraries means education, or here it means the day-to-day works. The meaning of this line is that in his journey on the open road, the speaker does not bother about all these things. He does not bother about anybody's complaints, anybody's arguments, or any criticisms. He says, strong and content I travel the open road. The speaker says that he is strong enough to continue this journey, his journey of life, and he is content means he is satisfied in his life while traveling on this open road. Now see stanza number 3. The next 4 lines. The earth that is sufficient. I do not want the constellations any nearer. I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them. In this stanza, the speaker separates or disconnects himself from others. The poet says, the earth that is sufficient means he can travel anywhere on this earth, and earth is sufficient for his journey. The next line, I do not want any constellations any nearer. Here, the word constellations means group of stars, or in the context of this poem, it means group of influencing people. The poet says that he is fine in the present state. He does not want to be closer or nearer to the stars or nearer to the group of people whom he knows. In the next line, he says, I know they are very well where they are. I know they suffice for those who belong to them. The poet says that this group of stars, group of people are fine where they are. They are good enough for those who belong to them. This stanza shows that the speaker does not want to include himself in the group of people. He separates himself from other people. He wants to remain free from the crowd, and he wants to retain his freedom. Now see the last stanza, last 4 lines of the poem. Students, you can see that these lines are given in bracket. This is called parenthesis. Why this parenthesis is used? Usually, the parenthesis is used for explanation. It is used to clarify the expressions. Here the poet also wants to explain the thoughts in his mind. He says, still here I carry my old delicious burdens. I carry them, men and women. I carry them with me wherever I go. I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. I am filled with them, and I will fill them in return. In the first 3 lines, in the first 3 stanzas of this poem, he says he does not need anyone. He himself is the maker of his own destiny. He does not want to include himself in the group of people. But in this last stanza, in this parenthesis, in the first line, he admits that still here I carry my old delicious burdens. That means still there are sweet memories of his past in his mind. He calls them delicious burdens. He says, I carry them, men and women. I carry them with me wherever I go. The speaker carries the burden of memories with him all the time in his journey. These sweet memories may be of his relatives, friends, or the men and women whom he had met in his past. He again says, I swear it is impossible for me to get rid of them. To get rid of means to remove, to be free from. Here, the speaker swears, he admits that it is not possible for him to remove this sweet burden. It is not possible for him to be free from the sweet memories of his past. He says, I am filled with them, and I will fill them in return. he admits again that his mind is filled with these sweet memories, and he swears that he will do something for them in return. Students, I hope you have understood this beautiful poem of Walt Whitman. In the next part or the next video, we will see the appreciation and the figures of speech included in this poem. Thank you.